G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitars Root Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Nutshell by Alice in Chains, which has awesome acoustic guitar parts and awesome electric guitar parts. For the basics, we'll need our guitars in flat tuning, so that means all the strings will go down a semitone. If you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarsroothero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you're fairly new to guitar and you're looking to build a strong, solid foundation, but you don't know where to start, then be sure to check out the Guitars Root Hero Premium course and membership, which gives you all the guidance to play with confidence. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so let's start with the lead in, and there's just 3 chords here. So we're going to start with an E minor 7, so index and middle finger on the 2nd frets of the 5th and 4th string, and ring and pinky fingers on the 3rd frets of the 2nd and 1st string. That's our E minor 7, a beautiful chord, and then we're going to go to a G chord, so we can just lift our middle finger, move that to the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and then D chord shape. Now the strumming pattern is below. It's down, down, up, down. And the point at which we'll change from the E minor 7 to the G will be on that first up strum. So down, down, up. And on the final down strum, we go to the D. So the lead in, down, down, up, down. And one more time. Now we get to the main progression, which is basically just repeated through for the entire song. So we're going to go from the D to a C add 9. So just pivot around your ring finger and move your middle finger to the 3rd fret of the 5th string, your next finger to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. You can leave the 1st string open as well. Now with the C add 9, we definitely don't want the 6th string ringing out, so you can mute it by lightly touching it with your thumb reaching over the top, or you can just try avoiding hitting that 6th string. That's our C add 9. Let's start by just learning this progression with the strumming pattern, and then I'll add some flair to it later with the hammer-ons. So with this C add 9, we're going to strum with a down, 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 up. And we're going to do that twice for the first bar. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and up. For the second bar, we start off the same way. So 1 E and 2 E and up. But for the second half, we're going to go down, down, up, down, up. And you'll notice that we have cut out the end R beat here, because that's where we're going to change to the E minor 7. So that E minor 7 will change on the end beat after the 4. But let's move back a tiny bit. Let's play the first 2 C add 9 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So on the end beat, we'll change to the E minor 7. Hold that out until the next end beat, where we'll hit a down, 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 up. So the E minor 7 and a 1 E and a 2 E and up. And the second part of this bar is just the same as the lead-ins, but we've already learnt that down, down, up, down. And from the start of the E minor 7 and a 1 E and a 2 E and up. Now let's piece that together with the first 2 C add 9s. And that is just repeated again and again. And I'll play it through twice. 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 Now let's add some hammer-ons to make this chord riff sound a little bit more interesting. So for the first C add 9 bar, what we're going to do is have a hammer-on on the 3 beat. So on the 3 beat, just momentarily lift your index finger from that C add 9, and as we strum, you're going to hammer that index finger into place. That's on the 3 beat. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Now for the second bar, we're going to do the hammer-on the 1 and the 3 beat. So 1 E and 2 and then change to the E minor 7, G and D. So nothing changes for that final bar. It's just the C add 9s where the hammer-ons are included. So with that in mind, it will sound like this. And you could literally just play that throughout the entire song. But I'm just going to teach you one more variation that you do hear sometimes in this song. You absolutely don't need to play this variation. In the playthrough at the end of this lesson, I won't be using the variation at all, but I just thought I'd show you just so you can mix things up when you're playing this by yourself. Now, the progression is identical, the timing is identical, our strumming patterns will just differ a little bit, and we won't be playing those hammer-ons at all. So for the first C add 9, our strumming pattern is going to change a tiny bit, and where I have the strums highlighted in green, we are basically just going to lift our ring finger and effectively play a C major 7. So the strumming pattern is down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. And on that up stroke, that's where we're going to lift our ring finger. So down, 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 up, down, down, down. Now for the second bar, we start off the same way, down, up, down, 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 up. And on the 3 beat, we'll stay with this C major 7, but then right after that, on the upstroke, we'll go back to our C add 9. With a down, up, up. And the second bar. And the final bar is identical to what we've had previously, the E minor 7, G to D. So the only thing that differs is that C add 9, which will sound like this. So that's just a little variation that you can use to mix things up whilst playing the song, because it is just that one chord progression again and again throughout. Now in terms of electric guitar tone, I'm using the bridge pickup here, so the one closest to the bridge. On my Boss Katana, I'm using the brown amp channel. So try to use a high gain amp with whatever you're using and push that gain up fairly high so you get that distortion. Then finally, I've just added reverb and delay, and with those settings, you'll get something close to the original tone. I'll leave a link to my tone patch in the description below. So let's start with the lead guitar in the first chorus, and it's really nice and simple. There's just 2 licks that we need to learn, and that's just repeated through twice. So for the first lick, we take our ring finger, place it over the 12th fret of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. We're going to pluck the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string like that, and then with our middle finger go down to the 11th fret, pluck that. And what I do is a half bend and release. So what I do is actually pull the string down. Now a half bend means we're targeting a pitch that's up 1 semitone or up 1 fret from our bending note. So our target pitch is that 12th fret note. So bend and release. And then we go down to 9th fret and then 9th fret of the 4th string. And so far. Now, as we hit that 9th fret of the 4th string, we're going to bend that a half tone as well. And again, the easiest way to bend that is to actually pull our finger in a downwards motion. So just curl your finger up and pull that string down. And you can hold that note or slowly release it, and that's the first lick. For the second lick, we place our pinky finger on the 10th fret of the 1st string, middle finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd, and an index finger will bar across the 7th frets of the 3rd and 4th string. We'll pluck the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and then 4th string. But as we hit that 4th string, we'll bend and release a half tone. and then 5th fret, and then 4th fret. So that's the second lick. So lick 1 and 2 together. And that's just repeated through twice for the chorus number 1. Chorus number 2 is identical. We're playing those 2 licks through twice. And then we get to the solo section. To start the solo section off, we're going to go to the 4th fret of the 3rd string. We're going to hit that with our index finger and do a half bend and release again. Then 5th fret of the 4th string down to the 4th fret, bend and release. 5th fret of the 5th string, and then with your ring finger, go to the 5th fret and hit it. And slide up to the 7th, and that lick in total. Then we're going to go to a C add 9 chord shape, and you'll just hit this, hit that on the 1 and the 2 beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. For the next lick, we're going to hit the open 6th string with 2 palm mutes. So take the fleshy bit of your palm, rest it lightly on the edge of the bridge, and hit that open 6th string. And then you're going to hit the 3rd fret of the 5th string, pull off to the 2nd, then 3rd fret of the 6th string, then 5th fret of the 4th string with your pinky finger, and you can do a quarter bend there, like a really slight bend. And then a muted hit, and then end on the 7th fret of the 5th string, and that lick in total. For the next lick, we start off with 2 more palm mutes on that open 6th string, and then the same lick that we started this line of tab off with. For the next line of tab, we go back to our C add 9, but then we're going to hit it and slide up 12 frets to the 15th and 14th fret. So we're playing that C add 9 up an octave higher. So hit it, slide up, and do an upstroke thing. Hold that, do a mute, a bend of the 5th fret on the 4th string, just that quarter bend, another mute, and then end on the 7th fret of the 5th string. So this line I have. For the next line of tab, we're going to slide up to the 7th fret of the 3rd and 1st string with our middle and ring finger, like that. Then we go down to the 5th fret, pluck the 3rd and 1st string, then 4th and 3rd fret like this, and then 2nd fret, and then we end with our index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. So it's kind of a C chord shape, and we're plucking 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and so forth. And the next lick, we're going to keep our index finger here. We're going to strike the 1st and 2nd strings 3 times, and then 3rd fret with our ring finger on the 2nd string. So those 4 plucks. And then you're going to take your ring finger up to the 8th fret, and then end on the 5th fret. So this line of tab. Now after we hit that 5th fret, you're going to just slide it up all the way to the top of the neck. Like that. And with the delay on your guitar tone, you'll get that really cool sound. And in total, for this line of tab. Now, for the final line of tab, this is probably the trickiest part of the solo. There's some really fast hammer-on and pull-off runs here. So we'll start on the 5th fret of the 5th string. We're going to pluck that with our middle finger and hammer on to the 7th with our pinky. Then 4th fret of the 4th string, hammer on from the 4th, 5th, 7th. So then we'll do the same on the 3rd string. but then we'll pull off to 5th, down to 4th, and then we'll pluck the 5th fret. And that will end this run. So it's pretty much all hammer-ons and pull-offs. So practice that really slow. And slowly try that faster and faster. For the final lick, we'll do something very similar. We'll start on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, hammer on to 8th and then 10th. And then we'll do the same on the 1st string, pull off to 8th, down to 7th, and then 10th fret of the 2nd string, pull off to 8th, 7th, and then end on the 9th fret of the 4th. So all together. And a bit faster. And slower. And to end this solo, we'll just hit the 11th fret of the 3rd string and bend it up a half tone, and then you can release it and bend it up if you want as that note drones out. And in total for the solo section. So now I'll be doing a full playthrough of the song with a vocal track on top for some context. A big thanks to my friend Eric for lending his awesome vocals to this playthrough. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here, or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.